Hey guys, so really energetically, we are in the vice this week. We are in the pressure cooker. There is a huge level of power and intensity that is pushing things, honestly, like to a breaking point. Now, things are being pushed to this breaking point to act as some type of catalyst to some type of massive growth, transformation, and karmic release that is also being called for at this period of time as an aspect of this rebirth process that is simultaneously underway. But things could really be coming to a boiling point. We have a grand cross set up, stationary, fixed signs, also early degrees, 0 degrees of these fixed signs. Like, this is the utmost in intensity between these very powerful masculine planets as well. Pluto, Mars, Jupiter, and the nodes of the moon, north and south node in conjunction. Like, this, again, some type of breakthrough from stationary fixed patterns of the past that have been blocking true authentic growth and value. We're gonna find out a lot about what we're truly made of, okay, and our own levels of self-awareness and our own levels of self-control and our own levels of self-empowerment. So we've got a lot to talk about opening this week, closing out the month of May, you guys. Let's get into this report, look at this energy, see how things are coming together for us, and try to get a grip on the best ways to navigate the current intensity as this energy is unfolding right now as well. Welcome back to my channel, you guys. Today is Monday, May 22nd, 2023. My name is Aubrey. This is your astrological outlook of the day, where we are narrating the shift of the ages, where we are decoding the matrix and trying to figure out how to stay out and above the energy that would seek to pull us down, okay, into the vibes that are coming through this week. Because I will tell you, there is a lot of ego-based energy coming through. It is going to behoove us in a lot of ways right now, you guys, not to allow any type of like ego-based urges or instincts or needs to be seen or acknowledged or anything like that that arise within us to dominate our integrity, okay, at this point in time, or like our truthfulness or our like personal sense of righteousness and doing the right thing regardless of the scenarios that we are in. We do not want our pride, okay, or our, again, like ego-based anything to be the driving, motivating force in our, again, personal righteousness and what we're like, our ability to have integrity and to do the right thing as whatever scenario is testing us or playing out this week. This is probably going to be a week. You may have noticed that last week was a very intense week and a lot of things may have been coming to a head. There may have been some very powerful like power struggles or power plays that seem to be going on. Things could be coming to a bit of, like I said, like a breaking point or a boiling point in the energy last week, but this week too, especially as we move into Wednesday, Thursday, you know, heading into the weekend, things are really going to start to intensify and to heat up, and this vice, this fixed energy that is just like a four-way stop right now between these powerful clashing forces, which could very much translate into blockages or just frustrating things or interferences that we feel like are just having some type of powerful or detrimental effect on our ability to move forward, on our ability to expand, on our ability to act, on our ability to grow, on our ability to create for one reason or another, in some capacity or another. Like, we want to make sure that we are not reacting from our ego in a way that is going to lead to some type of self-destructive behavior somehow that is actually like taking us off of our path, as opposed to helping us align with what we're really truly wanting and passionate about at this point in time. So I guess we're going to start the report by saying that, you guys, we've got Jupiter, we've got Mars, we've got Pluto moving into Wednesday this week. The moon's also going to be with Mars. There are going to be a lot of very heated, emotional, ego-fused issues coming up later this week. But we have Jupiter, okay? Jupiter is squaring both Pluto and Mars. This is an ability to, wisdom can prevail, okay? seeing the higher perspective, detaching, you know, having an alignment and a commitment like to our faith in this energy. And again, aligning with the higher version of ourselves, not allowing ourselves to get swept up in some emotional reactions based in an ego wound that could like take us way over the top. Okay. We want to keep our wits about us as we are going through this energy, because this is again, this is a week where people are going to have a very hard time controlling their tempers, and it is just a setup for some very like self-sabotaging or self-destructive things to go on if we are not applying that Jupiter energy in the higher octaves in terms of the, you know, the wisdom and the faith and the future focus and the truth and the dedication to like true value and true worth as well in the sign of Taurus. Like, is it really worth it? That is the question that we need to be asking ourselves before we go to battle, okay? Especially again, if it's just something that has got us on like a pride-based level or like a ego-based level. Is it worth it, okay? And will what I get out of this be of true value to me in the end? Those are the questions we need to be really consciously pondering on Jupiter, right? While this energy is playing out. So all that being said, let's get into my notes and the report of what we've got going on. Like I said, we have 2 grands actually going on to start this week. Huge, powerful times that we're in. I try not to like sensationalize things. Like, I have a tendency of being a little bit enthusiastic. I definitely get that, but I really try hard not to like, you know, be like very like just like, you know, sensational or like clickbaity or like anything like that. It's just that these really are super powerful, significant, energetic times, and I don't know how to do this without having that level of like emphasis on what is playing out right now. Pluto, Mars, you know, 0 degrees fixed signs, Aquarius and Leo, as we're transitioning right now into the age of Aquarius, and then Jupiter right there in that square as well. Like, this is just a huge activation. And then we bring in the nodes of the moon. The North Node in a conjunction to Jupiter, the South Node in the sign of Scorpio, closing out what was an extremely powerful 0 degree fixed sign T-square into an extremely powerful early degree fixed grand cross, featuring all this powerful masculine energy. There are likely to be some very powerful male figures, maybe like coming up against each other, maybe like I said, again, I'm not trying to like sensationalize things in any way, but this just represents to me sort of like that like archetypal epic battle between like good and evil, like, you know, like Harry Potter and Voldemort, you know, like Frodo and the Ring, you know, like this is, can we overcome it? Like, can we overpower it? Like, will the good within us prevail over our need to like satisfy our urges and our desires and like be like self-serving and stuff like that, and to like have like our pride and our ego and like our attention and that type of stuff. So, and it has directly to do also with like breaking karmic patterns of like what we were attached to in order to, you know, achieve some type of like inner need in regards to that attention or that power or that like feeling seen or feeling loved and appreciated and stuff. Like, what were we willing to sacrifice in order to have like a more ego-based level of like our needs met, as opposed to what is it that we really truly need and what is it that we really truly find value in, that we are willing to sort of surrender that paradigm of the past in order to actually acquire what fulfills us on a soul-based level instead of like what fulfills our ego needs. That is this, I feel like. And I feel like it's playing out and happening in small ways sort of across the collective. And we are likely to see some major things with it on like a world collective level, or like what am I trying to say? A world stage level as well. Very powerful figures emerging right now that could be coming like up against each other, representing sort of, depending on your personal perspective and viewpoint and your personal paradigm, the forces of good and evil. There are also likely to be some huge and powerful revelations going on now that we also have had the sun enter the sign of Gemini, form a 0-degree trine to Pluto, while this extreme setup, this grand cross, is going on. Extremely powerful times of transformation and change, you guys. This is sort of like, I've got to do what I've got to do energy, okay? Not only do we have the grand cross and fixed signs, but we also today, because of the placement of the moon in Cancer, have a grand trine that is simultaneously setting up in water. Now, trines are facilitating energy. They help things to happen. Grand trine in water, this is some type of facilitated emotional something. We're talking about Saturn, time, karma, boundaries, limitations, control. We're talking about the South Node. This is also the past. This is also karma. This is what we need to release in the sign of Scorpio, closing out the very last few days of the Taurus-Scorpio nodal transit, having just completed our last Taurus-Scorpio eclipse cycle for this round through the zodiac of Taurus-Scorpio, of the nodes transit through Taurus and Scorpio. The South Node is also the one point that is common. The South Node in Scorpio is the one point that is common to both this grand trine happening today on Monday with the moon in Cancer, and also this grand cross that is going on in fixed signs. It's the South Node. It is this karmic detox being activated, this catalytic moment that is propelling us forward through perhaps some type of test of will or determination or ability to persevere, or like coming to this breaking point and, you know, realizing that we can actually make it through, and then what that does for our own sense of self in one way or another moving forward, and the changes that that results in. But, you know, Saturn, Pisces, South Node in Scorpio, the moon in Cancer. We need to take advantage, you guys, of today and tomorrow, Monday and Tuesday, while the moon is transiting the sign of Cancer. And Venus is also in the sign of Cancer, coming into a conjunction with Venus. This is a, you know, this is a harmonious, the moon is obviously at home in the sign of Cancer. This is a very harmonious, you know, peaceful oriented, more gentle, compassionate, loving, nurturing type of energy that we have going on Monday into Tuesday. And we're gonna, like I said, sort of want to take advantage of that. If there are, you know, more interpersonal things that maybe you need to get done, I would recommend, you know, if you can, trying to get them done Monday into Tuesday as we move into Wednesday. This is the day where, the moon will move into the sign of Leo, and the moon will make a conjunction to Mars, and the moon will make a square to Jupiter, and will make an opposition to Pluto and a square to the nodes of the moon. And the moon is a trigger planet for energy, and with the moon and Mars together, you know, regardless of the sign, each month when this happens, this is always more of a emotionally energized day. And with this current configuration and setup, when the moon moves there, also being the sign of Leo, and Mars and Leo, and we're going to talk about Mars and Leo, you guys. We're going to talk all about Mars and Leo, especially in my next video, the video for Wednesday, when we have this energy and the moon is conjuncting Mars and Leo. That's when we're really going to go deep into this Mars and Leo energy and what we perhaps can expect. But I will tell you, egos are going to be most likely flaring. We're talking about Mars, the fire planet. You know, this is a very masculine energy. This is energy that rules the ego in the sign ruled by the sun, which also has a lot to do with ego. Now, what makes this sort of, you know, so any transit, okay, of Mars through the sign of Leo is always going to produce a very active ego and energy that is driven by a need to be seen, okay, and by a need to be the pride is going to be very strong, and there's a need to be seen, a need to be recognized, a need for like power and attention, okay, and stuff like that. And it's not always to say that this is a bad thing. You know, this could also be, it's also a very creative, extremely passionate, could be a very loyal energy. This is the true lion energy, okay? Like this is like the raw, like this is the big kingpin lion energy. Like this could be, you know, a true leader that is truly guided by the heart, okay? Leo is also very much associated by the heart, but in a lot of cases, just because of all of the fire and all of the ego energy, it has a tendency to be driven, the energy has a tendency to be driven by these more ego-based impulses. And again, the need to be seen, the need to shine. Now, this is not always going to result in like an overtly like egotistical or dominant energy, but there can be just some flares of narcissism that can sometimes run through this Mars Leo energy, and people are likely to be very like self-driven and self-focused, okay, as we go throughout this next couple of months while Mars transits the sign of Leo. Another thing is the black moon is also currently in the sign of Leo. So, you know, moving into Wednesday, not only are we going to have this early degree Mars in opposition to Pluto square to Jupiter and the nodes being lit up by the moon, but this is also going to be activating black moon energy. And I'll talk about this more. Like I said, we're going to get all into this business, but I do think also there's going to be a lot of drama that is happening in terms of like celebrity culture and like with like elites or like kings or like rulers and stuff like that. Like I think there's going to be a lot of dirt and a lot of dark side of celebrity rulership elite type of culture that comes up, and I think there's going to be a lot of like public fights, infighting sort of between rulership type classes or more like elite type classes or celebrity classes and stuff like that as this energy picks up. So that'll be an interesting thing to keep an eye on, but I would wager that we're going to start seeing a lot of so maybe like public type or celebrity elite type of dirty laundry really start being aired in some kind of like mortifying ways. And a lot of conflict that is arising, a lot of fighting that is going on between these type of people over it. So that'll be an interesting like sideshow that we're likely to have going on. But like I said, at the bottom of all of this, I do truly believe this is about the restoration of true, authentic value and power across the board. I think this is a return to an authentic focus on like genuine worth, genuine potential, genuine value, and real true power as a result of that. And I think that this is a universal effort to remove the distortion from humanity's perception of, on one hand, history, but also power, also energy, also true wealth, true worth, true value. And again, you know, I feel like this is a part of a greater collective shift in awareness that is going on right now and that is necessary to take place right now in order such that, you know, we can make this transition to the age of Aquarius and these shifting power dynamics can like truly, you know, begin to take root and stuff like that. Also, we are in Taurus season. This is when things really start to root themselves and really begin to grow. And we're going to be seeing, like I said, the truth that has been hidden. Another shift that has taken place over the weekend. See, we had our new moon that happened on Friday. On Saturday, we had Mars move into Leo, which we're, again, like I said, I'm going to be talking a lot about tomorrow as that energy is activated. But this is a major energetic shift in terms of how our energy is geared. We're probably feeling a bit more fired up, maybe, than we have throughout the past couple months when Mars has been transiting the sign of Cancer. But then on Sunday, the sun moved to Gemini, and we had 4 planets at 0 degrees. We had Jupiter at 0 degrees of Taurus. We had Pluto 0 degrees of Aquarius, the sun at 0 Gemini, and Mars at 0 Leo. This is like crazy new beginnings. A lot of people are probably like, again, on the verge of starting some real new things right now, but there's something that's not moving forward, something that's blocking growth or movement in some type of way, some type of an obstruction that is coming through somehow in some type of a way. And that this is what needs to be overcome, or a temptation even that may be kind of messing with us somehow. But now that we do have the sun in the sign of Gemini, these air signs forming the trine to Pluto in the sign of Aquarius, this energy exposes, it's a trine, right? This is facilitating energy. This is energy that is assisting us in something. When we're talking about Pluto, when we're talking about the sun, this is seeing into the shadows. This is a spotlight going into the darkness. When we're talking about air signs, this is about, finding out ideas or finding out information or finding out additional context, or, finding hidden or missing context or information or communications or something along those lines. When we're talking about the sign of Gemini, where the sun is as well, this is news. This is, like Twitter, social media type of stuff. This is the airways. This is what people are talking about. And this is all about information, communication, context, what we're learning, what we're coming to find and discover. We're figuring things out on the deepest levels, okay, right now, and having a powerful response to it. That is also, a way that this energy is coming together. And again, I am going to emphasize the need to make smart choices, make smart decisions, not be reckless, not be ego driven, not be emotion driven, but be wisdom through experience driven. Be, is this really worth it to me driven? Be, will I truly value this action that I feel inspired to take right now in the long run? Will this create a successful outcome for me at the end of the day? If I choose to go down this path, that is the questions that we need to be asking ourselves in the context of any action that we feel inspired to take at this point in time. Now, it may be, that the things that we're finding out finally bring us some answers that help us make a decision and give us, the green light, like, oh, now I know that I am doing this. That could very much be how this is playing out as well. Powerful solutions, powerful options, alternatives, ideas could also be coming through with this trine that has been going on between the sun and Pluto over this past couple of days on Sunday and into Monday today as well, although it's no longer exact. The sun and Pluto together, this is energy that is helping us to fix things somehow. So could be bringing remedies, could be bringing solutions based on things that we found out, things that we've discovered, conversations that we've had, like powerful conversations. This is also powerful conversations, powerful interactions, powerful ideas, facilitating our ability to transform or to change a situation that could be going on, that could be bringing blockages. Last week in my videos, I was also saying that, we are in this, these crosshairs, we are in this vice, and we had been, starting with that T-square last week. But when the sun and Pluto did come into this trine, this was likely to create some options, some movement, some release point somehow through maybe a perspective change or some information coming through, or again, some type of powerful conversation or context or piece of information that we were gaining that was going to create a little bit of movement for perhaps figuring things out and deciding how to move forward. So by today, Monday, this may have already transpired, but we are also sort of primed, especially with the Gemini energy, in Mercury direct now, for answers, for solutions, for just this form of movement, opening things up, moving us forward. We also actually have the Earth today on Monday at 2 degrees of the sign of Sagittarius. That Sabian symbol is the ocean covered with white caps. And this, makes me think, there's these powerful forces that are sort of churning under the surface of things. And, there's movement going on though, and nothing can really stop what's coming, and just the forces that are at play right now. Today into tomorrow, with this grand trine and water going on, this could be a bit of a more emotional energy, but it is this was Saturn in the south node in the moon. It's like, what I need to care for myself, the moon in Cancer at this point in time, is to release some emotional attachments that have been holding me back, or maybe some things that I've been committed to. It's just the end of the road in some way, in terms of something that we've like come to a point in time that we're like realizing like we can't continue to go on feeling like this, or having these feelings, or, you know, having these thoughts, or being attached to this in this way, or perceiving this in this way, because it's causing just this us to be like boxed into our own reality when we are really trying to go through a process of growth right now. So as we move, you know, through this week, and as we are doing our best to kind of ease into this upcoming energy, the moon in Cancer with Venus Monday and Tuesday, poise, okay? Poise, grace, compassion, conscious awareness, not allowing ourselves to, you know, get quite literally trapped in this, you know, this grand cross energy, but by our own ego or by our own distorted sense of self, okay? Moving forward into the weekend, and or our fears or our doubts, or right, like our distorted sense of self, like getting caught in our own perceived sense of personal limitation, or things working against us, or not being strong enough, okay? We are right on the brink right now of a turn of the fates, okay, of some type of reversal going on. And we have an opportunity right now to really play a strong and powerful and conscious role in kind of, you know, the way that things unfold and the way that things go for us, if we are choosing, again, to stay out of a place of self-deception, and to stay out of a drive that is inspired by like our lower selves and our lower nature and our ego, as opposed to what we know is right and what we know we should be doing, and how we should be behaving, and how we should be conducting ourselves, and how we should be acting according to our higher standards for ourselves, and what we are to become in this energy. Now, the sun moving through the weekend, you know, as if the intensity wasn't turned up high enough as it is, the sun is also about to start coming into a square with Saturn, you guys, and this is one of the more tricky aspects in astrology as well. Although it will be in mutable signs, which again is about breaking something down, dissolving something, transitioning something somehow, some type of barrier or some type of block or some type of obstruction. This Sun-Saturn squares also create like limitations to growth, okay? Limitations to expression, feeling like held back or restricted, or just some type of conflict or internal turmoil or struggle. So we have that energy pending as well, in the midst, on the context of this grand cross that we also have going on right now, which is also a lot of these very themes. And it's just probably, I'm letting you guys know, don't expect the best from people, you guys, this week. Expect the best from yourself, though. Hold yourself to the highest standard possible. But don't place any expectations, okay, on the behaviors of others. And this is a week where we are going to want to, again, sort of like stay on the sidelines if we can, especially after Wednesday, and honestly, like kind of through the weekend, because of this Saturn-Sun square that is also pending as well, which we'll be talking more about as we get through this week. We just may be facing or encountering a lot of frustration. But again, this is the pressure makes diamonds energy. Like, we even now have Saturn coming into it as well. And this is this catalyst that is triggering transformation and growth. We are also in Uranus season this year right now. Let me remind you, we are in Taurus season, and Uranus is currently in the sign of Taurus, and Jupiter will be making his way towards Uranus in Taurus, which is going to be an epic shock and awe, probably, like, season, okay, that we are nearing and building into right now. And things are happening in a certain way for the purpose of ultimately, like I said, putting things right somehow. Uranus in the sign of Taurus, this radical realignment with authentic truth, authentic value, authentic potential, authentic, like, truth, and authentic power coming as a result of that. Nothing can continue growing in a way that is inorganic or out of alignment right now. And there are just powerful forces coming to a head, microcosm, macrocosm, rooting out, you know, from the smallest scale, like trivial issues to, you know, the grandest possible level of power play and control dynamics at place. Like anything that is working against universe's process of expansion and alignment with authentic growth, truth, potential, value right now is, this energy is just as destructive as it is beneficial to processes of expanded growth. Jupiter in the sign of Taurus right now. Jupiter in Taurus helps things to grow in the most beautiful, productive, abundant, and successful way. In the sign, or coming, initially hitting his transit of Taurus though, with that 0 degree square to Pluto and coming into the alignment with Uranus, this is the roots. Like this is where things are growing from though. This is the depths of what is not working right. Okay, we've got to fix things on the deepest possible core levels. This is not throwing a band-aid over the symptoms. Like this is getting to the root of the problem, shining the greatest source of form of light on there, bringing wisdom and truth to what's been hidden and what's been unclear and what's been unknown and what's been going on in the darkness, and doing so in a way that is restoring truth, restoring value, restoring potential, and putting things back on track for proper growth and expansion that moves things in a way that transitions us into the age of Aquarius, because that is the chapter of the cosmic blueprint that we are on right now as we're moving into the age of Aquarius, which is the age of self-knowledge and self-enlightenment and ultimately conscious co-creation with God, universe, great spirit, however you want to look at it. So we have got to change the subconscious programming, the underlying algorithm of things, and that is happening on a frequency-based level, and it is translating into the breakdowns and also the breakthroughs that are happening as this energy is coming through right now. Catalyst triggering massive transformation, massive growth in alignment with authentic potential. Epic showdown between the past and the future, okay? What's been stealing power and what's been keeping us blind to authentic value, potential, and growth, and the true wisdom associated with the discovery of that authentic, true talent, potential, and growth. And this is energy, again, Jupiter is the planet that is squaring both Mars and Pluto. I am going to choose to do the right thing regardless of how my ego feels about it, regardless of what I think I might lose or the power that I feel like I might lose in the process. I'm going to choose the right thing regardless. I've got to get over it and I've got to do what's right. Like, that is how a lot of people are going to be acting. A lot of other people are going to be acting extremely ruthless, extremely domineering, extremely aggressive, okay? Violent also. Like, there could just be some very, you know, this is just ruthless. There could just be some real ugly stuff, fights, conflicts, battles, yeah, that go on while this energy is present. It is kind of the utmost. And then, you know, Jupiter there expanding it, expanding everything, right? Anything that is being done out of those lower octaves energy, it's just likely to be ruthless. It's likely to be explosive. It could be really just like violent and just like terrible. So we're staying away from any of that. And if we are picking up on any red flags of any of that, we are detaching from the situation immediately, going somewhere else and deciding, will engaging in this situation and in something that I feel like is worth my time and energy and that provides some type of value for me. So that's the advice there, but shining a huge light on things that we didn't perhaps know about that had been keeping us trapped somehow. I mean, we've got this fixed T-square, and like in this fixed grand cross, like it's this fixed energy, right? And it's happening all at 0 degrees. Like, to me, literally, like, this is actually, well, it's fixing things in place, but it's also fixing things as in it's providing also the solution and the remedy to things that have been broken at their core, rotten at their core for really long periods of time. This is light coming through that is showing that. And yeah, We're gonna get to the truth of it, you guys, and the changes that come as a result of that could be pretty epic moving through the rest of this summer. It's gonna be interesting. It should be very interesting to see what happens as Jupiter approaches Uranus in the sign of Taurus. And I'm sure when that happens, I haven't looked ahead at that chart yet, but it won't happen in isolation. No, not the way that this universal cosmic blueprint always unfolds. I'm sure there will be some very synchronistic, like other also simultaneous, like intense things happening at that point in time as well. But, I do think that, like I said, everything surrounds right now around this value and worth, true value, true worth, and true authentic potential. However you want to translate that. We even have the nodes of the moon right now. The North Node is literally at the Chiron point, which is a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, which is all about, the Chiron energy, like the wounded healer teacher, and the true wisdom that we gain from the process of going through the hero's journey, represented through, the alchemical, like internal transmutation from states of victimhood to self-mastery that we gain through going through the Chiron experience. Pot of gold of the end of the rainbow, the gold of the soul, the wisdom that comes as a result of that like frees us to move into this place of self-actualization that is represented by the age of Aquarius. Like the Chiron energy is the bridge into the age of Aquarius energy. That is how we find our higher frequencies and our place of self-actualization, is through the hero's journey and what we discover transmuting our states of victimhood into states of self-mastery through the wisdom we gain through experience and everything that we have to go through as a result of like the Chiron energy. And anybody who has strong Chiron energy, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. And again, like Chiron leads the way as well. And this is lantern by lantern, like light by light by light, igniting within each individual as they go through this process and as they attain this level of internal gold, the true alchemization, like the wisdom that unlocks us from essentially being a slave to the matrix, right? On a vibratory level, which in this reality translates into our actual tangible experience. It's how we free ourselves from the matrix. And the North Node right now, while all of this playing out, is at the Chiron point again. And Chiron energy, while it truly boils down to, of course, the inner value, which is fundamental to all, it also rules money and economies and financial markets and value, worth, currency, like all of that, because of its translation into value and worth because of the archetypes. So we've even got, aside from all the Taurus energy playing out right now, we've even got the North Node itself at the specific degree in the sky that would also indicate some type of major emphasis on big changes going on in realms related to finances and economies and value and worth and stuff like that. Again, both internalized and externalized, microcosm, macrocosm. So I'm going to stop rambling now. That's how I'm seeing this energy coming through today. Super big deal energy playing out this week. Again, Monday and Tuesday, let's really like lean into this Cancer moon energy. And if you've got to deal with people, I recommend doing it earlier rather than, if you can get it done before Wednesday, I would try to do that, because oh god, once this Leo moon hits, things just could get a little sticky. So we'll put it that way. Let's talk about the tarot for just a minute. We had a tarot reading coming out today. I've honestly kind of already been talking about this spread throughout the course of this report because it is just so relevant in the context of the astrology as well. We've got, the way that this message is presenting, again, to me, it's not a warning, okay? It's just some guidance about maybe like what not to do or what not to get caught up in as we are going through the energy this week. We've got the Queen of Swords in reverse, followed by the Two of Pentacles in reverse, and then we've got the Page of Wands. And on the back of the deck, we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. This to me sort of is talking about not allowing this Page of Wands energy, this ego-based energy, this, look at this big stick I have right here. One of my sticks bigger than your stick, and what can I do with it type of energy. Like, do you, like, look at me, type of energy. to cloud our judgment, okay? To distort our integrity in any type of way, to cause us to make a choice that is not necessarily working for us, but that is maybe like pulling us back into a version of ourselves that we're trying to graduate from at this point in time. Like the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, like sort of like, you know, to some extent, like it's up to us, you know, like what are we gonna do? Like, yes, we are at a point in time. We're at sort of a turning point. The past and the future very much in the balance right now. We are at a very transitional point in time, but this is sort of like a test. And, you know, are we going to allow like our ego to dominate our decisions and pull us out of our truth and our integrity and our conscious awareness and our character that could in some way be detrimental to the success and the good fortune and the shifts that are trying to come to us right now? Or are we going to, you know, harness this power for creative potential in terms of the future that we are working towards right now from a place of like truth and authenticity within ourselves? So I feel like generally, you know, short and sweet, what this message is saying is, again, we need to choose to do the right thing, and we can't allow ourselves to be motivated through, you know, just like more ego-based drives, as I've said like so many times throughout this report. But, you know, with Mars at this 0 degrees, at this, even this first degree of the sign of Leo in the opposition to Pluto, like that's just sort of what it's indicating. So that is what we're going to say for the tarot today. Let's grab a synchronicity card now. God, Spirit, Universe, what do I need to know? What do we need to know? What is our advice? What is our guidance as we go through this next couple days? It says count on God. And that's exactly what we would expect. I mean, Saturn in this grand trine in water today, it's 7 degrees of Pisces. That Sabian symbol is illuminated by a shaft of light. A large cross lies on rocks surrounded by sea and mist. We're also talking about Saturn in the sign of Pisces. There is a need to surrender the burden to the divine, to a higher power right now, and trust that things are truly working for us. It says, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. Psalms 1:3. You will prosper. You will grow and expand. The law of attraction is working for you, and you attract all of those who will help you in reaching your goals spiritually and materially. So again, you guys, in the face of, you know, whatever may be transpiring right now, we need to stay on the right side of things. We need to not give in. We need to not, you know, allow ourselves to be pulled out of like our moral compass and stuff like that as a result of some type of ego business that's going on. And we need to be able to surrender the burden and know that things are working in our favor right now, regardless of how difficult, okay, this period in time, just this week, might be to navigate. So that's what I have to say today, you guys. A message from the stars, a message from the cards as we are opening this week. I hope you guys liked it. If you did like it, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, you guys. Share it with your friends if you think that they would be into this type of astrology content as well. Leave me comments, you guys. I'm so grateful for you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your feedback. I love knowing how, you know, these energies are affecting you. If you are having experiences that line up with what I'm talking about, please let me know in the comment section below. I have a Facebook page, a Facebook group, a website, other social media stuff, Instagram, also in my description box. And come back with me on Wednesday, you guys. I will be back. We will, again, this is going to be probably quite an intense day. The moon is going to be coming into a conjunction with Mars in the sign of Leo, activating this grand cross in some pretty big ways. So I'll be here to talk about it. You should be here too. You don't want to miss it. I will see you then, guys. Have a beautiful day, and until next time, bye.